So today I've decided to work on some stamp carving. I've become interested in the hobby called letterboxing, where you go around your neighborhood and you try to find stamps that folks have hidden around in various places. And most of the time, the stamps that I try to find are hand-carved stamps, and people leave all kinds of hints and clues about how to find your stamps. So in that way, it's kind of like geocaching. However, you don't keep the stamps. You simply stamp into your own little journal, and then you stamp your stamp into the letterbox journal so that they have a record of who has found that stamp. So stamp carving has become something quite interesting to me, and while I'm not doing it in any means trying to sell my stamps or be a professional stamp carver or anything like that, I do quite enjoy every now and again carving out a little stamp. Now, one of the fun things you can do in letterboxing is create what's called a hitchhiker stamp. So instead of that stamp living in a particular letterbox, if you find the hitchhiker stamp, you take that stamp with you, and the next letterbox you find, you hide your new hitchhiker stamp into that next letterbox. So these stamps move around from letterbox to letterbox as people find them and move them about. So I thought it would be completely appropriate to carve a little bee and have it hitchhike from letterbox to letterbox, perhaps pollinating the different letterboxes. But also, this coming summer, I'm going to be teaching a letterboxing summer camp. So it's at a place called the Hive. So again, I thought the little bee would be perfectly appropriate for my first little hitchhiker stamp. So let's see, some carving. First of all, this video is at 2 times speed. So normally this process is actually quite slow and quite meditative, which I quite like. I know that other people are really interested in having magnifiers and having a certain type of lighting when they carve. I guess because I'm not worried about being so professional, I don't get fussed about things like that. However, I can see how it's helpful for others. Okay, I've done most of the major carving. Now I'm just going to go and work on the outside, sort of take it off so that it doesn't get any ink on it when I go ahead and get ready to stamp. And right now this is sort of like a rough and ready carve of the outside space. We'll come in a minute and clean it up with a bigger blade. It was actually my sister who introduced me to letterboxing. She sent me a whole kit with all the supplies I needed to carve a stamp and to have my own little letterboxing journal. She even sent me my first stamp that I could hide around my neighborhood. So if you want to learn more about letterboxing, if this is something that sounds like it might be fun or interesting to you, I would suggest checking out the website Atlas Quest. They have all kinds of community there. They have all kinds of tutorials on how to create letterboxes and explaining what letterboxing is. It's quite an active community. They even have events from time to time, so that's quite interesting. The one thing I really like about it is that wherever you travel, you can do a search on Atlas Quest and see what letterboxes are hidden there. So every vacation I go on, I just take a look and try to find some letterboxes that might be interesting. They are often hidden in locations of interest. So inevitably, whenever I'm traveling to a new place, I am able to discover new and interesting things simply because I find the letterboxes that are in that location. So let's give this stamp a go. Oh, I think they're quite cute. This was a fun little morning carve. Thank you so much for joining me, and I hope you have fun in your own stamp carving and letterboxing adventures. Bye-bye.